All right, and it looks like we are good to go. Good luck to both runners. And we are almost on our way. Timer heading down now for both runners. 3, 2, 1. Let the race begin. So this should be a very good race. This is a losers bracket showdown, but despite that, it does have pretty strong implications for the next round. Both of these runners, I believe, will be doing the early space jump route. I do not believe either one will be going for a short boost, so that means after the speed booster, they will be heading up to Ferenia. Naru very slightly far ahead as this race starts, both mashing through the first Atom Room. Heading up to the first Artaria climb now. Both runners still very close. Naru going for I believe a slightly slower melee. Going up to the broken Emmy skip. A lot of us call it in the community call it the Elaine skip, and Root manages to grab it. Heading up now to the early cloak pseudo. One of the hardest pseudos to grab in the game, especially in the early game. Naru does grab it. Root grabs it not long after. Both runners are going to be heading to Corpius now. We'll see how Naru's Corpius attempts go. Ooh, getting a little bit of some poor RNG. Ooh, Root getting a spit. Oh, but can't grab the headlock. Oh, and gets some unfavorable fight in RNG in phase 2. Both runners now heading into phase 3. Root takes a slight lead. Root manages to end Corpius. Naru not far behind. Probably about 2 or so seconds separating these runners at the moment. Neck and neck. I couldn't tell you who's ahead. I think Naru very slightly has a very small lead, but... And as I say that, it would appear that Root has now taken the lead. This is looking to be a great race in the early stages of the run.
Uploading data.
There are going to be, since this is the early, or I'm assuming that it is going to be the early space route, both runners will go ahead and take the item tutorial that should be coming up momentarily. And, ooh, Root getting a bad jump, so loses a little bit of time to that to Naru. But I believe both runners will be taking the item tutorial. We'll see that coming up momentarily. Unfortunately, there is no way to skip the item tutorial in this route as opposed to having it for short boost, and you can see, yes, both runners are grabbing the item tutorial. Pretty clear sign that they will be going towards the early space route. We're coming up to one of our first, not major, but a little bit slightly more difficult tricks. The water skip. This is about a 40-second save. Ooh, and Naru ends up getting it first try. That's very good signs for him. Root, meanwhile, struggling a little bit. Does get it. I think that was 5th try. Root does get it, has a little bit of catching up to do. Naru misses first try on the water platform. Oh, misses second as well. Gets it 3rd try, so... Ooh, and Root also... Oh, Root also has problems with the water platform skip. Both runners end up getting a 3rd try. About a 4:59 or so charge time for Root. Meanwhile, Naru is going to be grabbing this first energy tank in Artaria. It makes the hell runs in Cataris significantly more doable, especially here on rookie mode. Good Artaria climb for Naru. Root, meanwhile, starting the 2nd climb. Who has a little bit of a issue grabbing the ledge, unfortunately. Coming up to the first thermal switch door, I guess you could call it. The first thermal platform. And I can't see Naru's timer, so let me see what I can do about that momentarily. Root having some beautiful spin falls heading down to the thermal platform. I would guess that there is about a 25-second lead for Naru at the moment. I could be wrong. I'm not good at pulling numbers like that randomly, but I think it's about that, about 20 seconds or so.
There was no use out there.
Naru is going to be heading up to the major trick, which allows this early cloak route to be faster, the Magus skip. We'll see if he can get it within the first couple of attempts. Ooh, going for a setup bliss. A little bit more difficult. Gets it 4th try, so if Root can get Magus relatively quickly, she should make up a little bit of time here. We'll see as Root is going to be attempting her Magus skip attempts right now. She does get it 1st try, so that's going to be a little bit of time back for Root. Naru in the CU room right here. The CU room, we did used to mash it, but with the addition of these missiles, it is faster to just throw a bunch of missiles at them. Naru not having as ideal of a fight there as he might have liked. Root is managing to gain some time back here, heading into this Emmy kill. Ooh, this looks good for a potential plant for Naru. He might jump over it. Yes. That might be based on comfort, not wanting to lose in the race, but that did potentially look good for a potential plant kill. Meanwhile, Root now on to the Emmy.
As long as he didn't grab me.
Does also get the kill. Good movements from Naru heading out of the Emmy room. Ooh, Root getting a little bit of unfortunate timing there on the climb right there. So both runners going to be heading up to this damage boost now. We'll see how Naru gets it. Ooh, isn't able to get it. This might be what Root needs to gain some time back. Root attempting the damage boost now. Ooh, Root also unfortunately not getting it first try. Oh, and Root is having to go back, deciding the damage boost might not be worth it after all. Is going to take the magnet across. So an unfortunate time loss for Root, but does get up to the elevator at about 10:10.
Uploading data.
Because of the damage boost, I would think there's about 30-ish seconds or so separating the runners right now. Root having some good spin falls up to the Atom Room. Maybe less than that, actually. Because Naru did have a couple his own difficulties at the damage boost, so... Root going to be talking to the fourth and final Atom Room. I know both of these runners are doing Atom Skip. Runners will do a very mini high five. See if Naru is going to go. No, he's not. Okay. Ooh, but does get up just fine. There is a very large damage boost there. We call it Super Boost. But again, it is a little bit difficult to go for, so. Naru attempting the Hell Run now. Getting the melee across, and it would appear he is through with no problems. Root, meanwhile, making her way to the Hell Run now. And makes it through. So both runners getting through Hell Run very easily. We'll see if either of them go for the Hell Pseudo, which is a pretty difficult way to grab. It's a pseudo wave, but it's a bit difficult to grab. But it basically means you don't have to go for one of these switches coming up. We'll see if Naru goes for it right now. Okay, so Naru will not go for it. Naru will go for the actual switch. I'm not sure what you would call these, but I call them switches, so. Ooh, trying to go for a little bit of an interesting slide, but doesn't end up getting it. Ooh, Root, I'm sorry, teases the Hell Pseudo, but does end up going for the switch. Oh, and Root ended... Apparently, Ed says in the chat that Root got Super Boost. I was trying to fix some settings, so I must have missed that, but great job, Root, getting the Super Boost. Thank you, Ed, for mentioning that in the chat. Naru now has this other thermal platform activated, so now we'll be going into Atom Skip. So this is one of these things that we as a community refer to as one of the first great equalizers of the race, or of the run. So we'll see how Naru's Atom Skip attempts go. That first try looked good. but didn't end up getting it. This might be good. No. Root has caught up now. She might be able to take the lead, presuming if she's able to get her Atom Skip properly. That looks good for Root. Oh, just barely. Root gets the Atom Skip, takes the lead in this race. Naru still struggling a bit with Atom Skip. That looks good. This is why we call this one of the great equalizers. This can lose a lot of time if you're not able to get it in quickly enough. This is one of the earlier reset points of an ordinary run. Oh, come on, Naru. Let's give some claps in the chat, give some support for Naru in his Atom Skip attempts. It is unfortunately having some difficulties as Root ends up heading back, gonna what we call reverse Atom. Good fall, gets the melee across. And Naru does get Atom Skip. So, great job to him. Root in a pretty comfortable position now. Oh no, does get bonked a bit by this rock snail. I'm not even sure what they're called, but they are pretty unfortunate. Metatron says in the chat, PTAD, post-traumatic atom disorder. I agree completely. Yeah, it's big unfortunate if you're not able to grab the Atom Skip. Root now heading out of Cataris. Naru gonna be on his way to lower the magnet to leave Cataris. Takes the safer jump over the Emmy. I don't fault him for it at all. Does get reverse Atom relatively quickly. It seems like I've lost... Oh, here we go. Naru's face is back. So Root now entering Dairin, or sometimes called Dai-a-Run, because of its ridiculously large load times at times. The load transitions can, to be perfectly honest, kill a run if you're not expecting the run or the load time to happen. But we come here as, in classic Metroidvania style, we come here to grab an item, and the item being the wide beam, before we head back to Cataris, where we actually need to go. Because where we need to go, killing the green Emmy, we can't access yet because it's being blocked by a wide beam cover. So we come into Dairin to grab the wide beam before heading back to grab the Morph Ball, which is what the green Emmy gives us for killing it. Naru activating the first of 2 Dairin generators. Meanwhile, Naru entering Dairin now. Root going for a really good melee, actually. Grabs the... Ooh, has some trouble with the wide beam block. I think Manny calls them Pedros, if I remember correctly. Meanwhile, Root will take this very mini cutscene, enter in the yellow Emmy, and runs away from it just fine. Alright, looking good for Root thus far. So Root will be on her way back to Cataris while Naru grabs the wide beam. So I would say maybe 40 or so seconds right now. It's hard to grab when I haven't been able to grab Naru's timer on my screen, but I'm assuming that it would be about that. Thank you, Ed, for helping me keep track of the times thus far. Like I mentioned before, Root can now finally take out that wide beam cover, because we don't have wide beam at that point, but now that we do, we're able to go and take out this Emmy, or take out this central unit to take the Emmy out. It's been pretty well documented at this point, but this game breaks the tradition of Morph Ball and Morph Ball bombs being your pretty early upgrades. So Root has about, I would say, a minute at the moment. Minute and 10 second, it looks like, actually, yeah. Minute and 11. So sitting comfy at the moment, but there's still a lot of run, still a lot of race left. Good spin fall for Naru, heading into the wide beam covered door to take out the central unit. Root getting the Morph Ball. A little bit of verbal dyslexia there. Headed now to a teleporter to head back to Artaria, where she will grab the various suit in order to survive the heat to fight Kraid, everyone's favorite boss. Naru, meanwhile, is going to take out the green Emmy now. We'll see if he goes for the safer kill or possibly Professor Stupid, and it looks like he will go for the more standard safe kill here. So Root will be grabbing this Missile Plus tank for safety for Kraid. We'll have the 44 missiles. I'm not sure if either one of these runners are using Turbo Nitro. I don't think Root is, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure if either runner is using Turbo. Speaking of the runners, if you want to follow the runners and catch all of their action, please do so. If you're inclined to follow me, not to give myself a shout out, but if you're inclined to follow me and all of my Metroid Dread action, feel free to also catch me. We're going to now see if Naru grabs this Missile Plus tank for Kraid safety. And he does elect to not go for it, so this is going to save him a little bit of time, but there is now also, you have to take into consideration the potential RNG factor that Kraid can potentially give you. So makes up a little bit of time, but we'll see if the missiles will be good for the Kraid fight. I personally also do not take that Missile Plus pack, but I am also very used to running normal mode, so I'm very used to having the 34 missiles, so we'll see if the risk pays off for Naru when the crate fight does happen. Root not accidentally canceling her slide, but going to be leaving this heated zone now. Once again, another small high five for the runners. Root leaving this heated area while Naru starts it. Naru manages to get through this little heated area with relatively no issue. Does grab the Varia suit. Root is still managing to hold on to her Atom Skip lead, but we'll see if this changes at the Kraid fight that she will be getting to first. Kraid is notorious for giving some pretty difficult and unfavorable RNG, so this used to be a major reset point in my runs personally, so we'll see how she manages to do. Naru getting a little bit of unlucky luck, I guess you could say, exiting the heated areas. Root into the Rocky Mountains. Root is looking a little shaky, so I hope that after this Kraid fight, because after this Kraid fight there is a lot of just movement, so I hope that after this fight she's able to focus more on the movement and not what's to come. She is looking maybe like nerves are getting to her a little bit, so hopefully she can overcome that. I don't know if either of these runners are doing any of the IWJs, so we'll see if how she fares right now. Root is going to be going for them. Root manages first try on the IWJs, gets up without having to wait for the or shoot the belly. Great job to her. Getting a little bit of some unfavorable RNG in Phase 2 of Kraid. At least she won't have any problems with her missiles. Naru entering the Rocky Mountains now. Oh no! Root getting knocked off. I was looking at the other screen. I missed how that happened. Knowing that she was very close to the end of the fight, though, rather than trying to get the jumps back up, just decides to take the fight from the floor and does manage to kill Kraid. But if Naru manages to have a better Phase 2, then he will definitely be making up some time here. He got nailed. Thank you, Taurus. Are having a little bit of some struggling with the quick charge. I can definitely relate to that. Took me a while to incorporate that in my own runs. And Naru will be going for the safer, you could say, shooting of the belly. If Naru can have a better Phase 2, he will make up time on Root, so... And so far, this has been a better Phase 2. And yeah, much better Phase 2 compared to Roots, so... Naru will be making up a little bit of time there. Almost falls down from the magnet, but manages to get through just fine. Root does go right in this room, confirming she will be going early space, just like we thought. I'm not sure if either runner has the restream up, but if they do, Root knows that she has a little bit of a lead. Naru knows he's a little bit behind and knows that he just made up time on that Kraid fight, so Good ball fall for Root. Manages to get the optimal fall. Does grab the grapple beam. Once again, I believe Naru will also head to the right here, and he does. So it looks like both of these runners will once again have another small high five. Naru heading down, Root heading back up. This has been a very entertaining race so far. It's a lot closer than it would suggest. Most of Root's lead right now is just off of getting Adam's dip slightly quicker than Naru. Naru has a good fall down to grab the grapple beam. Root now heading up to bombs. We'll see if she can grab good yellow Emmy RNG. Ooh, doesn't get the quick charge on the door. I believe gets unfavorable RNG, yeah. Oh no, Root gets seen. And gets a counter! Great job, Root! Stares death in the face and says, "Not today." Very great job from Root. That could have been what Naru needed to get some time back, but again, Root might know she has a lead and does not want to give it up. Gonna be activating the second generator now, as Naru re-enters Dairin. Oh, it does actually manage to take out the blob as well, so it doesn't have to spend time killing it. It's not as difficult as it looks, but it does require a pretty precise angle as you're coming down. Now that Root has bombs, we'll be able to see if she decides to go for the backdoor flash, or if she does, with the grapple beam, opt to go underneath, grabbing the flash shift. Naru gets a lot better RNG with the yellow Emmy spawn, so it doesn't have to go for not only a counter, but any kind of trying to Phantom Cloak shenanigans, so we'll make up time on that alone. Root now entering this early Berenia area. Almost gets the hole-in-one, not able to fully grab it. Naru heading up to grab the bombs as well. So we have a 33-18 press, or tram, I guess I should say, for Roots. So we'll see how Naru fares once he heads to the Berenia 1 tram. Again, so far a pretty comfortable lead for Roots, and most of it's still off of Adam's dip. once again, that there's those really great equalizers for this category, for this route. So, but this is another one of them coming up with this backdoor flash. Again, I'm not sure she will be doing it, but if she does go for it, it will be interesting to see how many attempts it does take her. Naru heading now into this early Barenia area. See if he goes for hole-in-one. So both runners not able to get the first hole-in-one. Root tries to go for the coyote jump, but mistimes her slide. Luckily, does have the grapple beam in that point, so avoids the moat of this game, is what Sat wanted to call it earlier on his stream. It's not as bad of a moat as in SM, but it's an annoying one nonetheless. Root is going for backdoor flash, so we will see these attempts right now. Ooh, does get backdoor flash. Very nice. Unfortunately, it is not able to keep the door open, so that is another about 3-ish seconds lost. However, does get backdoor flashed relatively quickly, so we'll see if Naru elects to match it or if he will go underneath. It is about a 7 or 8 second save if you do it first try, and about a 4 or 5 second if you do it second. Considering that Root was not able to keep the door open, that would probably be more akin to about even with going underneath. So we'll see what Naru decides to do. Root does go in for these pause buffers. Is able to grab the first one. We'll go for the second one now. Naru, meanwhile, going underneath for backdoor flash. So again, this will about even out with Root's attempts at BDF. So Ed says in the chat that Root is schmoving, and I agree. Her movement is picking up post-crate, just like I hoped it would. I also completely forgot to check the time of the post-Barenia, or grabbing the Barenia tram. So it was about 36:25, I believe, for Roots heading back to Dyren. So that's the one that I'll track this time around, I promise. 36:21, thank you. Something about going underneath for Naru is that the enemies respawn, so you do have to take that into consideration when you go underneath, as opposed to with backdoor flash, they are not there. So you do have time, or you are free, I should say, to just use the flash shift across, as opposed to having to take them out first. Naru going for the pause buffers, or pause pseudos as well, going for a recently more found, easier solution on this one. Does get the pseudos, so he'll be heading now to Barenia, or to Dyren again, I'm sorry. So about a minute and 15 still at the moment, separating the two runners. So Root going for the yellow Emmy kill now, had a good CU kill. Is able to take out the yellow Emmy with very little issue. Naru, meanwhile, entering Dyren once more to head to the yellow Emmy now. So again, these runners are doing the early space route, so rather than going back to Artaria right now like you would commonly see in the Mocking bracket for the short boost route, these runners will be heading to Ferenia now to deal with the Quiet Robe cutscene and unlock the Ferenia 2. So we just left Ferenia, but now we're going to detour into Ferenia to unlock it once more. Root not being able to grab the flash chains, but not too big of an issue. Naru killing this, the yellow Emmy right now. Having a little bit of a slower fight than Root did. But is able to get the kill. And Root going for the Quiet Robe keep. Does get the first half of it. Can she grab the second? Root does grab Quiet Robe keep, so very difficult, very tight speed keep for Root. Is gonna go up, manipulate the robot. Oh, misses the store on the space jump. Ooh, very close to not grabbing that Shine Spark off, but does get it right near the end. So as Naru enters Ferenia, Root will be making her way out of it. So good lead for Root at the moment. Naru manages to have a cleaner robot soldier fight. He will make up a little bit more time. But Ed does bring up a good point in the chat, wondering if Root will go for glitchless early space to preserve the lead. Or variations between what is more commonly seen. So we'll see what she does decide to end up doing. The Root entering a pretty intense movement section now on the way back to, or to head to Berenia 2. Naru does get the first soldier fight off. Oh, I think he might have missed the second spark. Ooh, misses another store. So unfortunately has a little bit of a slower fight than Root did, and you can see he's a bit upset about that. But yeah, that store is a lot tighter than it would look, so unfortunate fight for Naru. Root misses the hole-in-one once again, going into Berenia 2, but will be making her way there now. Root going to be going through, once again, a pretty movement-heavy section with Berenia 2. As Naru is going to be starting the process of getting to Berenia 2. Oh, Root not able to grab the ball spark, or ball keep, through this tunnel. Not a big issue. And it looks like she is electing to go the flash shift portion. And that's why I don't do that personally. It is a frame perfect flash shift to get through the grapple enemy there. So the Berenia pseudos here can be very tricky to grab. They can very quickly get frustrating when you're not seeing them. Root having some issues. Does able to grab it. Let's see if how she grabs her Berenia Tower. Misses the grapple. And does elect to kill the Steves, I believe the community calls them. There's a bunch of different names for a bunch of different stuff. But has an unfortunate Berenia too, and will be leaving Berenia as Naru is heading to Berenia. So an entire zone is separating the runners at the moment. Again, Root, if both runners are watching the restream, Root knows she has a pretty comfortable lead at the moment, and Naru knows that he needs to be making time. I don't know if they will be watching the restream. It's definitely worth asking. Ooh, a very interesting decision from Naru. I don't think I've ever seen that, to store the ball, but I guess that once he wants to assure he's not going to have to morph through there. Naru gets the spark on this robot soldier in Gavarin. Does have 3 tanks, so it should be relatively straightforward. Business as usual. Naru going to be heading up to the Berenia Tower. We'll see if he can get these pseudos a little faster than Root. He will save time if he is able to. Alright. Oh no. I think I know what was going on in his head right there. Wanted to ensure that he can get it through. I do believe that is going to be a slightly faster than Root's Berenia Tower, though. So I think that very slightly, but it will be making up a small amount of time there. The Root grabbing super missiles as Naru heads up to Gavarin now. So now that Root does have the super missiles, or there's a super missile door blocking the pathway to Elune, the quarantine zone of planet ZDR. But now that she does have the super missiles, she's able to get through the door and head to release the X parasites. Meanwhile, Naru is going up to this soldier. And we do have Naru's timer back, so we are now finally able to see an easier solution. We'll be able to differentiate any clear leads, and not much easier now. Thank you so much to SpeedGaming staff. So Elune is a very technical area. It's very movement heavy. The plasma beam is the big major upgrade in this area, and then it has a couple of other like missile expansions, power bomb parts, etc. But the plasma beam and releasing the X parasites is the biggest reason that we come here. Other than that, though, it is pretty movement intensive. A lot of cool movement that you can do, especially there's a speed keep right here that I believe Root does go for. I could be wrong. Naru going to be heading up to this super missile door now to head to the Elune section now. Looks like she is going for the speed keep. Loses the speed booster in the air. Not uncommon, but again, it is a fairly difficult speed keep. You are able to, if you get the full speed keep, to shine spark into the door, and the spark does kill the door enemy. We're getting both counters on the actual Chozo soldier. So now we're starting to see actual Chozo soldiers infected by X parasites. Root will be making her way out of Elune now. Does go for the quick spark, isn't able to get the door open, but will save time, I believe, over just running through it. That used to be a major crash point for the run, but luckily since patch 2.0 that has been removed. We're at a 49.07 leave-in for Roots. We'll come back to Naru. Root does have to go through one of the hardest tricks in the game right now, the cutscene skip. The dreaded cutscene skip, no pun intended. Nails it first try. Great job, Root. Yes, Meta, it does have a name. I just don't remember the name of it. Root now going through a pretty difficult speed keep with the blue Emmy. Ooh, is not able to grab, loses it on the way to the Emmy, but let's see if she can grab this next part. Naru doesn't grab the first plasma keep. Ooh, isn't able to get the plasma, or I'm sorry, a lot happening. Is not able to grab the speed keep with the blue Emmy, but luckily the Emmy was in a good spot, so is able to circumvent a little bit of that with favorable RNG. Root failing her first water bomb jump attempt. Ooh, having some issues with the water bomb jumps. I can relate strongly. Naru, meanwhile, finishing up this soldier fight. Root does get up. All right, and it's looking like we have a 50-53. So almost 2 minutes are currently separating the runners at the moment. So Root has a pretty comfortable lead, but needs to... But again, that could all change coming up on the next big equalizer of this run, which is the space pseudo trick. Like Ednolian mentioned earlier, it'll be interesting if she preserves her lead and goes for a glitchless variation of it, or does feel confident in her early space pseudo. Pseudo. Naru does nail the cutscene skip, is heading to the speed keep for the blue Emmy section. Oh, is not able to grab it, and I think has some less than favorable RNG. So yeah, is going to be... Oh, I'm mistaken. Actually had not favorable, but very interesting RNG, but luckily gets that all the same. If he's able to grab these water bomb jumps, first try or second, he'll make up time over Root. Alright, so we'll be making up a little bit of time there. Gets through these little mushroom clouds, and now Root will be heading to the early space. Space jump pseudo. Jeez, words are hard, everyone. Ooh, Naru accidentally trying to skip the cutscene too early. We've all done that at one point or another. Are going a little bit further back. This will mean that the beam, or that the Omega Stream doesn't hit as much, but I believe this might be more of a comfort thing for him. Root going to early space now. That does look good. Wow, Root getting early space first try. That's huge. That might cement enough of a lead, everyone. The Root grabbing space at 53-23. Very, very good job grabbing the one of the more challenging pseudos. Jokes aside for me, one of the more challenging pseudos of the run. So we'll see if Naru can match it with another first try, or even a second try, or if he has issues with it and decides to go for an alternative. But Root grabbing that is puts her in a very, very comfortable position moving forward. So now Root will be heading to, well, to Dairon, but to take the yellow teleporter to Artaria. Naru, meanwhile, heading to Ferenia now to make his own space jump pseudo attempts. So again, we'll see how these attempts go for Naru. But yeah, this is a pretty sizable lead that Root has built for herself if Naru is not able to grab these pseudos. Love you, Ed. Love you, buddy. But gonna have to disagree with you there. I would much rather go the early space than GES. Naru making his attempts now. Not able to grab it the first try. Misses it the second. Root making her way to the yellow teleporter now. I am of the opinion that early space is free, so Naru having a little bit of unfortunate attempts is the word that I meant to say with early space. This is my jokes aside, this is a difficult pseudo wave beam to grab. You only get 6 attempts to grab it before this enemy despawns on you, and you have to leave to go far enough away to get it to respawn. We must hate winning. Root in Artarian now, gonna be making her way to... Ooh, gets a really nice speed keep. I am stealing that, 100%. Gets a pretty nice speed keep, head into screw attack. Naru still having a little bit of issues with space pseudo. Again, this is why we call this one of the equalizers of the run. Doesn't matter how much of a lead you have if you're not able to grab this wall clip. But Root grabbing it first try and Naru having some issues with it, I believe, is going to be firmly cementing her lead at this point, unfortunately. Ed, the jokester in the chat. At this point, Naru might not know how to do the glitchless strategy, so which is why he might be committing to the pseudo here. But again, this trick is difficult and is able to grab it, fortunately, but can't be happy with his attempts there, unfortunately. I know I wouldn't be. So it does grab space at 57:18, I believe, or 19 maybe, and about a 4-minute lead for Root at the moment. So barring catastrophic losses, I think this is a bit insurmountable. But again, you never know what could happen in a race setting. Congratulations to Naru for getting through. You always love to see a runner getting through some challenging parts. Root having a little bit of an issue going up the steeps. I'm not sure what you would call those, but the slopes is what I meant to say. But does get up there all the same. I will agree with you, Ed, although I personally don't know the early glitchless strat for it. I do, for moments like that, I do think it would be worth it to know it as a backup. I will agree with you there. Especially in a race setting where if it's not working and you are comfortable transitioning to the glitchless strat, it's very much worth it. Detouring into Cataris to head back to Gavarin, kind of have to rin around the rosy for the planet to get back to where you need to be. Naru going to be heading to the yellow teleporter now. Metatron saying that DNFing is always a backup strat. Yeah, not ideal, but I guess technically speaking, a backup strat nonetheless. Despite the lead, still a very entertaining race from both runners. Root, Landon and Gavarin going to be heading to the gravity suit now. While again, Naru will be making his way to the screw attack. So again, barring any catastrophic time losses for Root, she should have a very commanding lead. But again, like I mentioned, it is a race setting, and you never know what's going to happen in a race, even among the best of the best. So we'll have to see how the remaining 20 or so minutes go. Naru going for a bit of an older strat, but it checks out. Up until recently, that was my preferred strat, sparking down like that. Cue the Star Wars code. It's an old one, but it checks out. Ooh, Naru actually taking damage on that little green snake thing, so he definitely needs to pick up one of these X parasites, or he will be in pretty poor shape. And does manage to pick up a red X parasite, so back to full health. Yeah, as long as Root doesn't die to Golzuna 4 times, she should be fine. Not able to grab the store for Root, but grabs this, hopefully with no issue right here. Yeah, with no issue. Root proving that the Berenia Gravity Maze is apparently free. Naru grabbing the screw attack now. Root gonna be grabbing the gravity suit momentarily. Naru getting up with very quickly, with very little issues there. Any tiny thing right here. Yeah, see with this flipper clip, very gets it first try. Ooh, falls down a little bit of a caster curse there, but does grab the flipper clip faster than Root did. So any tiny thing like that will be grabbing him time, and he needs as much time as he can get right now. Root, meanwhile, did manage to skip, or not manage to skip, but did not grab that Missiles Plus pack before the gravity suit, because she did grab the one before Kraid, but did grab the second one because you do need at least 50 missiles to get through Phase 3 of Ravenbeak. So it'll be interesting to see if Naru decides to, again, take more riskier strats and not grab the missiles, or if he decides to grab both missiles, again, because you do need those 50 missiles for Ravenbeak. Yeah, so welcome back, Nitro. Root did get first try Space Pseudo, and as Ed put it, that's he did get memed on it by it, so unfortunate. Naru going to be heading to Gavarin now to head to the blue teleport, or not blue, I'm sorry, I know colors, green teleporter to head to Berenia. Root, meanwhile, heading back up to challenge Golzuna for the cross bombs. This is, in this route, this is one of the last major reset points. After this, everything is essentially smooth sailing. Getting this kill, or not getting this kill, can lose a lot of time. So we'll see if Root is able to get the kill first try, or if she is not, we'll get to see her potential backups. So a little bit early on the first charge, but Root does grab another charge. Ooh, goes for a ball spark. You like to see it. It's always nice to see interesting strats from runners. Root obliterates Golzuna. Great job from her. I think I've only seen that ball spark method from one other runner, so I did not know that Root also did the ball sparks there. Really cool deviation from what other people do. From what even myself do, or what I myself do, but I still do like a big boomer strat, so for that fight. But Root does make it through Golzuna. We'll be heading up to Hanubia, which is the surface of the planet. But again, in true Metroid fashion, we will only be here for a moment because we still need the wave beam. So we're going to be crossing into Hanubia to head back to Ferenia to deal with the purple Emmy. Oh, it's an older method. Interesting. Either way, older method, as long as it works for the runner, especially if for challenging strats right there. So here's what I was mentioning earlier. Naru does grab, I should say, this first Missile Plus pack. So it'll be interesting to see if he decides to go for the second one as well, knowing that he needs the 50 missiles, or if he wants to try to make up time and elect for less than 50 on Ravenbeak. Root getting a first try reverse grapple. Great job. Once again, if you'd like to follow both of these runners, if you're liking this outstanding race, please do. Both of these runners, I know Root streams her attempts pretty regularly. I believe Naru does as well. If you're enjoying the commentary thus far, also feel free to follow me. I also run this game. I'm also participating in this tournament, so Naru taking out the Berenia twins with little to no issue. Root did do some countering. That's the word I was looking for. Root did do some countering, which when you counter something, they do take half damage. So Naru will make up a little bit of time because he didn't counter, if I saw correctly. The Root going to be entering the SQ fight now for the Seeker missiles, or the Storm missiles in this game. I call them the Seeker missiles. Oh, is not able to grab the Pogo off of SQ. Does grab a 2 Sparks, so does manage to 2-cycle SQ as Naru is heading into Golzuna. Ooh, Naru almost doesn't get the quick kill. Believe he's a little bit too close. Oh, he's not. Yeah, Dread is a very, very fluid game, movement-wise. I know a lot of people in the community are very open to teaching it. If anyone is ever interested in learning this game, highly recommend it. So Naru does get the cross bombs as Root is heading to the second set of robot twins in Ferenia. Ooh, Root does the Storm missile along with the Spark there that I actually recently just started doing. A good fight from Root. Once again, Naru will be heading up to Hanubia to enter Ferenia, while Root is going to be heading into the final Emmy zone to head to the central unit fight. Ooh, does get scammed a bit, leaving. Gets hit by the wave beam shot. We'll see if she decides to go for the setup kill underneath, or if she feels comfortable in her faster plants, or even if she goes for the deep blue version of the kill, which is the slowest method, but is pretty safe. So we'll see what she decides to do. The Root not going for deep blue. We'll see what she decides to do here. Naru having a little bit of issues with the reverse wave beam. Ooh, Root going for a plant. Either she is comfortable with this, or she might feel she can do this because of her lead. We'll see if she can get this. You can only miss a very little shots on this. These look good, though. I believe this looks good. It is! Wow, great job from Root. That did look dicey at first, but Root pulled it off marvelously. Naru, meanwhile, entering Ferenia now. He'll be heading to the SQ fight as Root grabs the wave beam. Keeping up with the with Metroid Fusion, where the wave beam was Samus's strongest beam, as opposed to the plasma beam. I kind of like that though, but I am also a wave beam stan, so Naru getting some favorable RNG here. 100% Ace Breaker is my favorite category. I would love to bring more people to 100%. If you ever want to learn it, please feel free to reach out to me. That is my preferred category, and I love it to death, so. Naru entering the SQ fight now. We'll see if he can get the pogos. Again, he'll be making up a little bit of time here over Roots if he can't. At this point, the lead is a bit insurmountable, as Root does enter this endgame 3-boss gauntlet. The red Chozo soldier, the golden Chozo elite soldier, and Raven Beach himself. Ooh, Root taking a little bit of damage there. This is one of the laggiest rooms in the game, so it is actually faster to do this. The more time your beam is on screen in this room, the worse the room lags, so it is faster to do storm missiles here, as opposed to mashing. Ed, I run NMG Hundo, so I don't run any UR categories, but that's a spiel for a different day. Naru going to be heading to the second set of twins right now. Does get the spark on the first robot, so this should kill the... Oh, gets an unfortunate blue charge, blue spark. I'm not sure what we call the robot doing that. Somehow Naru failed that slide. I'm actually just not sure how. Even the game is starting to be against Naru at this point, unfortunately. Yeah, NMG is no major glitches, GL is glitchless, and UR is unrestricted. And those are the major categories for the game. Root gets the speed keep up to the top of this room. A little bit of lag, but no big deal. Going to be entering the gold Chozo fight now, as Naru takes out the CU on the opposite side. Doing a similar strat here with the storm missiles, taking out the shield. As these soldiers are screaming at you, they don't take damage, so it is always worth it to charge up some storm missiles just to blast them, again, while they're not taking damage. Root manages her way through the soldier just fine. Naru also going for this quicker version of this kill. This, again, is very precise. You can only miss a couple of shots here. Does get it. Very great job from him. Gets it, again, slightly faster than Root, but again, at this point, this is a pretty insurmountable lead, I would say. I'm not sure I could repeat that, but essentially, yes, Nitro. That is the category for that. Root entering Itarash, going to be flash shifting her way up this upper section, hitting the point of no return, hitting Ravenbeak. Getting a little scammed by the bombs, but no big deal. Naru gonna be with the what was I even saying there? Naru with the wave beam, gonna be heading back up to Hanubia to also enter this 3-boss gauntlet. English is my first language, by the way, SpeedGaming 3. Root looks like she's going for Storm Skip, gets the Storm Missiles off, does get Gold Skip. So Root's going to be doing a manipulation where you force Ravenbeak to the left, forcing Ravenbeak to the left like this. Ravenbeak only, in Phase 2, Ravenbeak only has a couple of attacks that he can do, and by dragging him to the left, it forces him to not do those tricks. However, Root is taking a little bit more damage than I think she would have liked, and is very low on health in this Phase 2. Root, oh no, dies to Phase 2 Ravenbeak. So, is going to have to enter Ravenbeak again. You can see the look on her face. She's laughing, but she's very upset with that. So, if that happens like 3 more times, that might open the door for Naru. So let's see how Ravenbeak round 2 goes for Root. Gets unfavorable RNG to start, but does get the swipe, I guess what we call it. Oh, does not grab the Seekers off. Ooh, but still grabs the gold skip with the mash. Great job. Let's see if she can grab a better Phase 2 fight. Meanwhile, Naru collecting the power bombs right now. Done with the first boss of the 3 gauntlet. Getting a lot better RNG on this this second Ravenbeak fight. Missing a little bit of missiles, but it should be no problem. Does have to start mashing. Enters Phase 3. He should counter. Ooh, gives a sun now. Interesting. Normally when Ravenbeak jumps around like that at the start of Phase 3, he normally follows up with a counter. As he's doing right now. I would take this if I were Root. And she does. Naru heading to the second elite soldier at the moment. And then a little bit scammed by Ravenbeak's patterns. Does not get a Quireless ending. Does get the counters, and we are on the way to RBX for Root. Naru going to be entering the Golden Chozo fight right now. Again, you're going to be seeing this Storm missile kill. It is faster if you are able to get it off. Okay, Root gets charging the Hyper Beam right now. Naru killing the Elite Soldier. Alright, and it looks like we are going to be heading up to what should be a relatively clean escape, hopefully from both runners, or from Root, I should say. Naru when he gets there. As the escape is happening, Naru is heading up to Itarash to face Ravenbeak. Good escape so far from Root as Naru lands in Itarash. No Arc Spark, but I don't blame her for not going for it. It is notoriously difficult. Arc Candy is a monster. Root, final time coming up for Root. Oh, doesn't get it all the way. But with a final race time of 1:20 and 49 seconds, Root is going to be the winner of this race. GG's to her. We'll switch over to Naru now, who is entering Gold Skip for Ravenbeak. I think has it. Has it perfectly. Again, during this Phase 2 Ravenbeak, you want to be able to kind of manipulate Ravenbeak to come to the left. You could do it to the right as well, but it is, I believe it's better to take him to the left. Naru out of missiles now, hits a cross bomb with some wave beam shots. Starting off with a Sun in Phase 3 is always not what you want to see from Ravenbeak. Ideally, you want to start him off with a counter. Naru taking a little bit of extra damage from RB right here. Does get a counter, but it does elect not to go for it. Is trying to manipulate Ravenbeak's cannon. Goes for the second power bomb to take out the second Sun. And now we will see Naru's escape. Fun fact for this Ravenbeak X fight, there are unused captions on it. The captions just say Samus powers everything, but they elected not to put it on the screen. Probably because it might distract you, but like casually. So Naru entering the escape now. Hopefully he can have a clean escape out of here. Hopefully both runners will be able to join for a post-game interview. Yes, Root does have a Twitch. Follow both of these runners. Both of these runners are very good at the game. Oh, Naru not able to grab the final Shine Spark, but no biggie. And with a final time of 1:24:47, Naru does make it through. So GG's to Naru.
That's it. GG's, guys.
All right, let's try and get both of these runners into the chat now. All right, it looks like they're both here. So let's see if they join now. Alrighty. Let me see here. Feel free to join the chat, both runners. I know you guys are both in the Discord, so
Hello.
hello Root.
Hi.
GG's to you. Let me see if I can get Naru in here. Oh, I can just drag.
Cool.
Hi Naru.
My question. Hello.
All right,
Hello.
GG's to the both of you first and foremost. That was a very entertaining race. Congratulations to Root.
Yep.
How did you guys feel about that race overall?
Very nervous. I was nervous through and through. Like I could feel. Oh, first GG's Naru. Sorry.
No problem.
didn't say
Same
that.
to you.
Yeah, nervous through and through. Like every mess up I could feel. Like every little technical mess up I could feel. The whole nine. And Ravenbeak was not nice to me either. But overall, like I'm pretty happy with it. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm happy with it. I think.
Yeah, I did notice that at various points in your early game, up until about Kraid, that a lot of your movement did seem like mistakes in not only like in certain tricks or anything, but in movement. It did happen.
Yeah.
It did look like it was coming down to nerves. So I made a comment that I was hopeful that after Kraid, because I mean you run the game, after Kraid it's a lot of movement, right? So
Yeah.
I was hoping that after Kraid you would kind of like calm down a bit, and it really did look like you did. So great job to you. Naru, what about you? How did you feel like your run went?
It was okay until Adam skip. After that, it was just pain and sorrow. But you know, I just was like, I'll push through, see what happens. And I stuck to my creed of not looking at the restream until I finished. So I was like, I don't know if that helped, but
Oh, so
yeah.
because I was wondering that too, if either of you did have the restream up, because obviously if you guys did have the restream up, you would know what was going on. But
Right.
respectable decision. I completely support it. Especially those Adam skip attempts were very rough, and then coupled with your early space attempts, which were arguably even more so rough. I definitely feel for you. Anyone who's ran the game before, I'm sure feels for you. But I think
Skip's not fun for a nerve setting. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. Adam skip is not. It is not fun in a race setting. Not at all.
Yeah.
great job from the both of you, though. I wanted to ask about what was going through your head, Root, when you got, especially because of how your nerves leading up to and earlier on, etc. I wanted to ask you what was going on in your head when you did get that first try space pseudo.
I mean, I learned from Greggy. I don't know if you guys know Greggy, but a new way to do it. So I was just focusing on the little claw hand on the bottom, and I was like, if I get that, I'll be fine. And I
Yeah,
got
there
it,
is
and
a
I was
very
like,
there is a very clear visual cue on the claws for the enemy underneath it for the space pseudo. So yeah, that's how
Yeah.
I personally grab it as well. That's why I joke around and I'm like, this trick is free. What are you talking about? But it is
Yeah.
it is a pretty difficult pseudo if you are just trying to get it. So
Yeah, if I don't get it first try, I usually start panicking because I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna die, it's gonna die, it's gonna die.
yeah, because you do only have
So,
about 6 tries to get it before the
Yeah.
enemy underneath does die. So
yeah, which seems like a lot, but once like you keep hitting it, it's like, oh crap,
yeah.
oh no, yeah. So it gets
And
even
then-
more nerve wracking knowing it could die.
And then with Ravenbeak, I did want to poke your brain and figure out what went wrong with the phase 2. Did you just think that you had more health than you did, or what ended up going on with the death at Ravenbeak?
So my control stick, like for some reason, if I go left, sometimes it'll throw me right. So when it threw me right on the melee, it threw me on the right side. And then I panicked when that happened because I'm like, I want to be on the left. I want to be on the left to like do the whole manipulation. And then I was like, I don't have any health. So then when I hit the melee, he started hitting me with the beams, and I was like, oh yeah, that's not gonna be. It's not gonna
Yeah,
be
because personally, I was thinking in the moment, if that thing kind of happened to me, I would completely bail out and go, casual strats. I'm gonna
Yeah,
space jump over him.
Yeah, I was thinking of jumping, and I was like, no. And then I just panicked. The second my Samus went right, I was like, oh crap.
Yeah,
And then I just
understandable. All right. Well, I did want to poke you guys now for what this means moving forward. Unfortunately, Naru, this will be your last race thus far in the tournament. But massive congratulations, massive GGs for making a very respectable lower or losers bracket run up to this point. Is there anything that you did want to say moving forward, or now that you are going to be leaving the brackets?
Sure. First off, GG's Root, excellent running at 120. That's what I'm aiming to hit. I'm surprised I finished 2 minutes under my PB. I thought I was gonna be like 6 minutes behind it, but I was like 2. So,
oh wow, was this a PB then?
No, this is 2 minutes slower.
Oh, it's slower. Got it.
Yeah,
I see.
I was 2 minutes slower. I thought I was gonna be like 4 to 5 minutes after that Adam skip, and then Craig was being a jerk, and then like you said, Space Pseudo didn't work out. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely like 6 minutes behind, but 2, I can live with it. And then
especially in a race setting.
Yeah, for sure. It's never worse than the qualifier where I had to fight Broken Emmy, or I went and fought Broken Emmy. Nothing gets worse than that. So,
yeah, that one always feels bad. Yeah, I was personally scared that would happen to me a couple of times. So, well, again, very respectable losers bracket run up to this point. You did make it pretty far. So, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
I'm hopeful that your attempts from here on out, because are you going to be grinding back down? Because you did mention you wanted to get about a 120 or so.
Yeah, I'm still gonna keep running the game because I still want to hit 120. I want to order my ultimate goal is sub 120, but just a milestone. I want to get to 120, so we'll be grinding that. Probably not in tournament settings, but I will be watching the rest of the tournament. And big thanks to all of y'all, man. I appreciate it.
I definitely do remember that that first sub 120 for me. So yeah, I'll be rooting for you. And then
Sure.
it looks like you will be moving on. Your next opponent, according to the brackets, it looks like it is going to be Greggy himself. So how are you feeling about that next matchup?
I mean, I know Greggy's been practicing a lot. I know he's been PBing after PBing, so like yeah, you can't sleep on anyone. You know, I think.
Oh, absolutely not. Especially on
If-
in a race setting. Races are so
Yeah.
crazy. Anything could happen in a race. So
Yeah, like if I slip up even a little bit, I'm sure he can catch up. Like I know he always tells me that he even says in chat I can see he says I'm done. And he's not. He's lying. He's improving so quickly, honestly. And he wants to race me like every other week just as practice. So
Yeah.
he's catching up.
do you think that like you mentioned, like, oh hey, let's race, oh hey, let's race. Do you think that will benefit you, or do you think that kind of puts you guys, the two of you, more on like an even playing field, so to speak?
I mean, I think it benefits both of us. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't say that. Like, I wouldn't really know how to put it, to be honest. Like, it helps
Fair
with
enough.
the nerves, like just being in a race and knowing I can't reset after like, 10th try atom skip or whatnot or a bad grade.
Definitely, yeah, exactly.
So just having that pressure to still perform. Like I raced in, I think like last week, and I hit he PB'd and I hit like a 122 something. But he PB'd really well because I was slipping up so badly in a race setting, and I was down like 3 to 4 minutes, and like if that happens in tournament, it is what it is. So
Yeah, exactly.
I think
Alrighty.
it helps both of us.
Yeah, awesome. One final thing that I did want to mention and ask you, Root, is I did see that you unfortunately weren't. You got a sub 120 time, but were not able to save the splits, I guess. So I wanted to
didn't.
one
I
one
forgot to
final
save
thing, and
Yeah.
I've done that too. So I wanted to ask how that former grind, I should say again, to grab that former or sub 120 time was going.
It was so painful. Like I hit the sub 120. I didn't stream it or anything. I just did it on my own. I was like, let me just not worry about anything. Just play. I hit the sub 120, and then I accidentally pressed the back button on my
Oh
keyboard.
no.
Yeah, I feel for that. I've accidentally deleted PBs before off of that. So
Yeah. It
well,
was so sad.
best of luck to you in your quote unquote sub 120 grind.
Thank you.
If you guys want to follow these runners, oops, that's not a command. Here we go. If you want to follow these runners, here are their links. They're to their Twitch streams. Highly recommend them. Both of them are outstanding runners. If you would like to follow me or even watch my own streams, I'm going to be streaming actually in probably about 25-30 minutes my own attempts of this category, because like I mentioned, I am also in this tournament, in this bracket, and have a that is correct, the first seed, and do have my own match coming up. Feel free to follow me as well.
Yeah, good luck
But
on your
if-
match again, by the way. It's getting bad, right?
Yeah, it is against Grub, so very formidable adversary, but a friend all at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
if that's gonna be it, then I mean, do either of you guys have any other final thoughts?
No, just GG's Naru. It was a fun race.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. And I always just say, thanks for the commentary, Fortify. And
Definitely.
it was fun racing you, Root. I'm gonna be watching your next race, you and Greggy, because I know Greggy too. So I don't know who I'm gonna cheer for, but I'm sure it's gonna be a great race. And I always want to say shout out to everybody who organized this. Keku, awesome runner, is part of the reason why I'm even here. Watching him back in September, when I saw his run at GDQ, that's what got me started grinding. And even though I lost, I'm still amazed, and I enjoyed the entire journey. So I will see you guys in the next tournament. You all enjoy yourselves.
For sure.
Fantastic. And I think with that, I will end it right here. I know we do have some more exciting matches coming up, but for now, here on SpeedGaming 3, we will see you next mission. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
See you later.